Hi everyone. A couple of days ago, I posted about some technologies not being compatible with human physiological and cognitive capabilities and the fact that those technologies are often bound to fail. Of course, we are now moving in many technologies so fast that our bodies cannot really cope with the technology's demands. On an evolutional scale, it's going to take a long while, if ever, before our bodies start adapting. There are a couple of points here. People who were born in 1980s, like myself, including myself, especially those of us who are still working with computers, have been sitting behind computers for about 30 years, or let's say more than 80% of their lifetime. And this number increases to 100% for kids who were born in 1990s and 2000s and 2010s. And that all required sitting down, a lot of sitting down, and a lot of neck and shoulder muscle strain. It also requires focusing on a screen that emits light. Of course, the frequency and color depth have changed a lot, but still, it's not like looking at nature in the visible range of sunlight. And that's a huge change that happened quite suddenly in the human history. We are really good at adjusting, but quite slowly. Many of the people I know in my age, including myself, have enormous musculoskeletal problems and pain in the back, shoulders, wrists, upper arms, and so forth. We know that there is a rise in autoimmune diseases like diabetes type 1 and allergies. And the only thing that has changed drastically on a global scale in the past 30, 40 years, which equally affected the poor and the rich, the developing and developed and underdeveloped, is the extensive use of computers and later on smartphones. I'm not saying that there is a causal relationship between these. I'm just saying that we don't know the long-term effects of many of these technologies that we are using day and night. Let's go a bit further. Technologies like virtual reality. Wearing a headset on the head might be uncomfortable for many people in terms of physical stress it applies on the neck muscles. But then exposure to light, an intense light that changes so much, so close to the eyes, while also blocking all the other visual stimuli from the outside world. Besides exerting a lot of stress on your eyes, in many people, it can also lead to intense headaches or even seizures. I know how cool it feels to meet people virtually, shake hands, collaborate, write, prototype from my own personal experience. But we should really think about how sustainable its use can be. Our cognitive capabilities are limited. Our bodies have a lot of limits. And staying in that virtual environment for 5 or 7 hours nonstop, I don't think so. There are not so many people on the planet who can do that. So it is highly unlikely that technologies like virtual reality can substitute a normal going out with a team for 2 days and doing a lot of activities together. However, I think there is a lot of potential in augmented reality, in navigation, in games, in teaching and training. And that's because you do not necessarily need to carry a device on your body in order to use it. So I would argue that instead of selling lands on Metaverse, Zuckerberg, or bombing the atmosphere of Mars to make it a little bit more livable and make a base there, Elon Musk, we should really invest our time and money and efforts on something that benefits humanity on a large scale. I mean, we have close to about 1 billion people who go to sleep hungry every single night on this planet. We should really think about that. And then we have cancer and Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, malaria, and so much more. I just want to conclude that the COVID situation showed us how fragile our world is, physiologically, psychologically, economically, socially. So let's focus on creating value on large scale for humanity instead of creating money for a few. I would love to hear your ideas in the comments or in a direct message on LinkedIn or whatever way you like. And I'm not going to tell you to subscribe or like or do any of those things. I know you're smart enough to be able to do that if you want to. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.